So anyway, we'll move on. Heartbreak Ridge is going to be game number 2 with GTR up 1-0, and we'll have to see what he randoms this time. Hopefully it's not Terran.
It's Darren. So GTR is Terran Teal left hand side,
I,
and
don't,
skindzer is the Lion Zerg on the right hand
I
side.
don't even have to change the colours.
Brilliant.
So anyway, so we get to play. Will GTR find out how to kill us?
Yeah, I hadn't thought so. Skindzer just said the
Oh,
GTR didn't randomize it,
so
so
he
he's just.
randomly gets Volon, but then he picked Terran against Zerg.
You know what that tells you? Someone doesn't respect Bolon.
Wow, Volon BM'd by
That's it.
GTR. So
I can't believe he didn't wait until he got into the game. When he was picking his race, he said, "This full-on character, he's nothing to me."
it's nothing. All right.
So 538, if you were in Skinder's position, what would you do?
Well, I'm really not sure because GTR's standard game seemed pretty fine until he tried pushing and waited for skindzer to get his hive tech up. So I would try being more aggressive if I were skindzer at this point, because he seems to be doing pretty much the same thing every game, and it's not the most fun to watch. It's not just his fault, but I really think that he should come up with some really nice cheese in this game.
Well, I mean, this map is really just like Cheese Central. The back minerals, you know, the thin walls, you know, drops are fantastic. Hidden expos work quite well. It's one of those maps that's very, I'd say infamous.
Chianti, why would you build the supply depot right there? Is that to help wall off anything for that
Yeah,
already?
he's going to do a wall off. He's actually going to put a command center in between them, maybe?
Oh, okay.
I think this is the build that Boxer did. Maybe it could be a factory, like something there. He's going to basically wall off at the natural. But yeah, what Boxer did, he actually had an off-center command center in the wall, right?
Skindzer has his second hatch in the web now, so it's not hatch.
And also, if I recall correctly, this kind of walling opens up the opportunity for the Zerg to actually put a drone and morph it into an extractor there, and that opens up the wall for Zerglings.
Yeah.
So that's what I recommend
Wow.
for skindzer to do. Best skindzer, if you hear me, do that.
That's what Effort did against some Protoss, I think, on this map, right? Where the Protoss was like, oh, I'm behind my wall, I'm all safe, and then Effort actually brought in a drone and like tried to morph it. But I think the thing is that extractors don't have the same properties that assimilators do, and it actually didn't work. So I'm not 100% sure on that strategy. I think that extractors might actually be wider than assimilators, and not actually open up the hole that an assimilator would do. But I'm not 100% sure. I just remember that he tried it and it fucking completely failed. And I
Okay,
laughed.
he's filled out the wall with supply depot. And I'm not sure if that's tight.
Yes, there's actually marine tied, and the marines spawn on the outside, so that might be a problem later on.
If it's marine tide, it's link tide, right? I
Oh,
think.
okay, I didn't know that.
It should be.
Yeah, so I mean, he's made a nice wall, but at the same time, yeah, so I think if he tried the extractor rush, I hope someone can actually confirm that for me, because I definitely have, I remember it. I remember Effort trying it and it didn't work. I don't know whether it was because he fucked his micro up or whether it actually just doesn't work.
Hold on to your pants. Skinzer's building the third hatch.
Oh, what a surprise. I am shocked. Color me shocked.
I really hope he just does the same build the whole way through the tournament and gets really far now. Like, you just see that over and over and over, and somehow people can't combat it.
3 hatch lurker. Alright, why not? GTR going up. So he's walled off at the natural, and it makes you think like, oh yeah, it's some sort of expansion build. But really, he's going for a starport, and looks like it's going to be a vulture drop, like a mines vulture drop. With a Goliath follow-up to deter Mutalisk or something like that. And skindzer not really being aggressive here.
He's sitting in his lings now. There we go, in the nick of time.
Yeah, he has
We'll see if
a lot of lings, and there's actually no marine. There's like one marine behind this wall, right? I feel like that many Zerglings If they just
Could
walked
take down the
straight
depot.
up and attacked the depot, I think he would die before actual SCVs got there to repair it. I could be wrong
I
though.
suppose the question is, which depot can you get more surface area on? That middle one?
I think, yeah, it would have to be the middle one. Or maybe even the barracks.
No, the bags is far too much out.
It does have more health, but it is sort of easier to get us around on, I think.
Oh,
Anyway.
instead he's just decided to camp in the middle of the map?
See, this is a weird decision. I don't understand why you make 12 Zerglings and then don't use them. I mean, Terran doesn't like to move out early. It's just not a Terran
Okay,
thing
wait.
to do.
I think he's going Spire. Oh no, there's behind it, then just started now. After the lair, which is interesting. Is there any reason to do that?
Well, yes, actually that's the perfect timing for,
Oh,
for
okay.
lurkers. So when
He
your
hasn't-
lair
he
is
hasn't-
halfway through, that's when you should put down the damn roughly.
So the drop just walked past the Zerglings. So that's kind of unfortunate for GTR because these Speedlings are going to be back in time probably to defend this. It'll depend on the micro. Whether GTR can get the mines down. Here come the vultures, moving up, but the lings are already here, and I don't think that he can get anything done here.
Yeah, and
So the speed upgrade is a
speed
few
up-
seconds away.
So,
the problem is he can't now, really.
kind of hilariously, having lings like AFK in the middle of the map turned out to be a good,
Saves him.
like a good idea. Can he drop there? Oh no.
I was really waiting to see it, but apparently he's just going to drop into the link anyway.
Yeah. In the meantime,
Is it
GTR is supply blocked. Is expanding, but he is supply
Oh.
blocked. Whereas
The lings
Yeah,
are-
so far this is one of the more awkward renditions of the fantasy build we've seen.
It does seem like that medevac does seem quite sad. Oh, and the Hydralists are out. The lurker aspect isn't researching.
I don't know if you guys have heard Chill talk about the fantasy build. I think it's Chill, but he basically said that when the fantasy build first kind of became a thing, and all the Terrans on Icy Cup were trying to do it, it's that the fantasy build only works when you have a certain level of mechanics to make it work. Like, the fantasy build isn't for the faint of heart. And I think that GTR's like, he's trying it here, but can we go ahead and say it's failed? Like, is that... Am I sort of overstepping my bounds here? But this build has failed.
Failed. Like, he kept all of those Zerglings away from him, and the cost
But they
wasn't
weren't-
horrific.
But they weren't actually going for him, so...
And he didn't know that. They could have been. Oh, okay, so I presume he's already getting drop at the lair. Yeah, drop is nearly done. So ventral sacks. And the lings are already in place at the top of the map. He's got 2 overroads there. I can only assume he wants to drop him from behind while he lurks from the front. Oh no, Hydra's speed? No, it's 3 hash Hydra instead of 3 hash
Yeah,
Bear.
he's going for... Basically, you don't really go lurkers against mech, because, I mean, Hydralists are just really good against mech. Unless there gets to be a huge lot of
The
tanks.
dropship scouts 2 of the overroads getting into place for the drop. But I'm not sure if he's figured it out.
If he's clued on. The thing is, these Zerglings... Oh, no, he's got a Valkyrie. That's
Oh,
really
fantastic.
unfortunate for Skindzer.
Considering the fact that it gets overroad speed, yeah, it's great.
I don't think... Yeah, he won't be able to actually drop into the main now. That's completely shut down what he was trying to do there. Would have been great too, because GTR just laid mines and then has some tanks at the front and nothing in his main, but that Valkyrie has done its work.
Oh, the Valkyrie's getting ruined by the
Oh!
Hydras. Oh, 16 life, my god, what's that, 3 spawns? 2.
There is an AFK dropship now at Skins' Natural. GTR, again, this is the fantasy build. You don't do it if you don't have the mechanics to do it, and in this case, I think GTR is slightly lacking. But down go the vultures.
He's supply blocked. And he's got
not supply
Hydras
blocked
right
anymore.
below that.
Yes, GTR is very kindly freeing up his supply now.
There are some AFK Hydralists not really dealing with the vultures. In the meantime, the drop has been completely stopped. There is a random vulture and Valkyrie preventing it. And now Skindzer, in a world of hurt, considering he just lost pretty much all of his drones at his natural.
He's just in such disarray. Like, his attack has been completely dismantled and he doesn't seem to be in too much of a hurry to do anything about it. Now he's moving across, I suppose, to... Oh, he's taking the 12 o'clock, so at least he's done that. But even now, I don't understand why you were taking the 12 o'clock lean only instead of the kind of 1 o'clock-ish space with gas that seems to be more easily defensible.
Yeah, it's... really weird. I don't actually understand why you would take the mineralogy here as a Zerg. Until, you know, mid-late game. But maybe he's just hoping GTR won't scatter, but he scattered with the dropship, right? Like when it was like flying home, so...
He's just sitting on so much gas as well. He's just not spending it. He's not taking the hive, he hasn't got the Queen's Nest,
He's got drops, he has Overlord speed now, so I mean...
He has Overlord speed.
I think his strategy here to deal with the tanks themselves will be perhaps Zergling bombs or something like that, to just load up some Zerglings in his Overlords and drop them onto the tanks as he attacks with Hydralisk, but it's just such an awkward position for skindzer. GTR being really patient, you know, dropping mines everywhere to defend, you know, his third expansion, which should be coming up shortly.
And there's two, oh sorry, he has the Valkyrie at the front, but he also has one up at the top of the main, still patrolling in case he decides to get those overloads in. And then if the overloads get past that, he's mined the entire back end of his base as a precautionary measure, I suppose. But like...
I don't really get the point of this Valkyrie. Like, a Valkyrie isn't actually going to kill an Overlord before it drops at this point. You have to be like, oh, no, you did 5 damage to me, I'm pretty upset.
He has already softened up and rated if an Overlord that were up there, so, you know, you might as well keep Valkyrie there.
And Hydralisk
and
coming out.
the dropping main, Vulture's in the main, and it's like there's nothing here to defend, so he's just going to destroy these drones, my god. Oh, the drones have to defend. That is unwise.
So yeah, Skins' economy just being completely destroyed. Like, he has fuck all mining left, and every time Skindzer goes off to like try and drop something, GTR just drops a couple of vultures, does a bit of harass, and Skindzer just freaks out and sends his whole army to deal with it. And yeah, it looks like he really, like, while GTR's...
He sent all of his drones to the top left. They're just transferring back now.
Oh man. Yeah, while GTR's rendition of the fantasy build really is awkward, I think was a good way to put it. I think Skins' familiarity with the build is far more awkward.
I just don't know what the answer is here. Like, Skindzer is now clustering his Hydras up on that ramp right beside his main. So I can only assume the plan is to drop those Hydras over the edge, like to just elevate them, but... Like, really? That's it?
I think so.
Yeah, the overloads over the Hydras.
Yeah, he's gonna drop...
He picks them up.
He's gonna drop 8 Hydras into
There's
the
a Goliath right there.
It's interesting. It's interesting he manages to do that just as GTR is moving out, because any other time it would have been completely pointless, but this way it's actually buying him some useful time.
Yeah, you might be able to get a couple of free tanks here, but I don't know how much else it's going to do, and I think at some point GTR is just going to be able to like 1A, 2A, 3A across the map, and there won't be anything that Skindzer will be able to do with it. Unfortunately, that's not really GTR's style. Like, GTR definitely likes these slow... He likes these slow, methodical pushes, and has no real interest in ending the game, even if he is at an advantage. He is still slowly building up.
I think he collected some bad memories last game. Whenever he tried to push, he was slowly but steadily defeated. So now it's just...
That 7 o'clock is just done. For all the lack of successes, that's not a bad result overall.
Some harassing vultures coming in and auto-attacking a sunken colony. For the newer players out there, that's not what you want to do with harassing vultures. You actually want to target the drones, just in case you were wondering. Sunken colonies, not the best target, simply because they actually don't really serve much purpose other than to deter your vultures. Unless you have like 6 million vultures, then you can attack the sunkens. But before that number, you know, just go for the drones. Skindzer wasn't able to kill that command center though, so GTR is just going to be able to re-land it and continue mining.
At the same time, I'm happy to say that Skindzer has the Warthog now. He has that expanded with the gas. I mean, he has 3-4 non-mining drones of it, but still, he's done something with it.
It is curious, like, how many times he's, like, remade his drones this game, but, you know, he's sticking in there. He is significantly behind on supply, though, about 35.
Oh, absolutely.
GTR is floating a few minerals here, and I think probably not taking advantage of the situation as much as he could. But I mean, this death push is going to be so hard to deal with regardless. And skindzer trying to attack into mines without Overlord spotting, not a good idea. And probably just going to go for another drop here, I think. He does tend to like these drops. Being a South American Zerg, I'm not surprised. This is pretty standard. People who are from the southern continent of the Americas.
I'm kind of interested. It's like GTR just gone up to 1-2 to skinzer's 1-1, but it seems so late to be getting your +2 attack. Like, is that normal for that, or is that just work?
It's not so late. I mean, their upgrades are fairly slow in general, but I wouldn't say it's so late. I mean, upgrades are definitely just something which depends on. It's more about the style that
Oh well,
you're going for. But
he
yeah,
busts in with all of the vultures. He loses all of them. Oh, he loses 4 of them to something. It doesn't really matter. The drones aren't mining. Most of them are dead. And then he goes straight into his Overclock, which doesn't have something.
he has killed a fair few drones here actually.
Oh, good lord. In an embarrassing turn of events, an egg just mind dragged and killed 2 vultures.
Huh, fair enough. I mean, that happens to me with my eggs when I'm playing Zerg. I mean, you really want to, you know, target them in good positions so that if vultures are laying mines around your hatcheries, they definitely get in there and blow up the vultures. So, skindzer still just sitting on lair tech. I don't like this at all. I feel like to beat Terran in TBZ, regardless of their build, whatever, you want to get to Hive Tech. I mean, Hive Tech Zerg is just so much stronger.
Oh, he's just getting the Queen's Nest now. He has the gas for all of the high tech he wants, so he might as well.
And skinzer's floating 2k gas as well. I mean, this is where Hive Tech comes in. I mean, lair tech stuff is generally fairly cheap, and yeah, he is finally getting a Queen's Nest, but the Hive Tech stuff is where the real heavy gas cost comes into play. And some cute Hydra Micro here, getting a few kind of free tanks. GTR kind of splitting up his army a little bit, and I feel like he's just waiting. He's just like waiting along for something to happen. He should just get his army and go attack, because he's just letting skindzer get back in the scheme. As I say that, he massacres a nice control groups of Hydras.
Yeah, exactly.
skindzer sitting down on 83 supply, GTR almost doubling that at 153. But yeah, it is GTR, so he probably won't attack for a while. But as I say that, he attacks.
And just as you say that.
Am I cursed? The game will end in the next 2 minutes. Alright, let's find out.
Don't jinx that one.
One.
skindzer just says, wow, I had no idea he had that many units. It's like, aw, unfortunate.
So basically, skindser's inability to get out of the game is a combination of GTR being a pussy and skindzer being terrible at scouting. Is that...
No, skinzer's just really brave. You know
Yes,
what's going
I think
on.
we should comment skindzer on his resilience and endurance.
Yeah, we come from a
Are we
total
trying to be
confidence
nice?
on the game. No, Toby, you don't understand. Most people don't have to try to be nice. Some of us are just nice. It's just you.
Someone mentioned that GTR's play is like an early Flash, but not as pro. That's fair enough. So basically, he's the person who made Brood War games boring to watch. Because he just...
Reading the chat, much more people seem to be comparing him to Kanata. And that might
yep,
actually
no,
also...
actually, that's a good one. I must have missed that. Oh my god, mines! Oh dear god.
But he has a, what do you call it? Sorry, a macro hatch right beside it. So the distance mining that's happening is only fractionally different to the regular mining.
So, I mean, despite losing like 1 billion Hydras to mines and tanks, somehow skindzer busted GTR. Unfortunately, GTR's like, alright, well I'll bust you back, and he has like a shitload more stuff than skindzer does.
Yeah, it's not that kind.
And yeah, pure Hydra against an army like this, especially, you know, without, you know, significant upgrade advantages or other units.
He's got a lurker behind the army that did a fair bit of damage. Like, he's not going to win, he's going to lose, but he's not in nearly as bad shape as I thought he was.
Yeah, the natural is taken out, he's in the main actually sacking these buildings. GTR kind of foregoing macro for a little bit to help Micro's push, I think.
Also, GTR is almost like sacrificing his main, because as the tanks are popping from the factories, they are not attacking the Hydras because they are going to the rally point, and he has gifted like 8 tanks already to those few Hydras.
Oh man.
And at the same time, skindzer is mounting up Hydralisks in his main, so he's willing to lose the natural as long as he can produce more in the meantime, which is very smart.
So GTR's not really moving his tanks here, kind of weird. He really should be just getting in there before, you know, skindzer can build up too many forces in here. I would like to see Broodling get researched.
Or as Alliance Big suggests, a round of Mutalisks.
Oh yeah. Oh, there are vessels though. Vessels and a Valkyrie.
There's a Valkyrie, and there were a couple of Goliaths, but they're gone now. And he's taking out the 1 o'clock with just the siege tank range, which is beautiful.
This is called Ember Map. Ember Terran, I'm not quite sure which. It's one of the two. Basically, this is why this map is completely fucked up when it comes to Terran, because it's so easy to attack and defend bases from really Ember positions.
Safe in the knowledge that he's lost his natural and his third, and that his opponent has Valkyries and vessels, he's elevated all of his Hydralisks outside his main.
Oh.
And he's taking the expansion at the 6 o'clock, oh sorry, the 7 o'clock, 5 o'clock, with a single drone carried out in an overlord.
Well, that's fair enough.
skindzer has big plans, like, he's not letting it go. So if he just takes this hill up, oh, he's not. I was going to say he could comfortably take down all of these barracks that are building, but instead he's going to walk into a minefield, so I guess that's a different tactic.
How effective are these mines going to be? Quite effective.
Oh, horrific, sir.
But he has managed to avoid most of them. There are a couple of vessels there, but that's it. Like, there's only 2 vessels there. So basically GTR is... Hopefully...
Yeah.
Okay, GTR is stuck in a choke point because there's like vessels,
No.
like vultures that want to go back, and tanks that want to go
finally
forwards.
getting the Oh, he cancels the hive. Beautiful. He's got that money right back.
Yes, he immediately needs those resources.
He needs the gas for all his non-high-tech units. So he's also taken out the 7 o'clock for GTR now. The main isn't in great shape. There's still 2 Hydralisks bullying the SCVs around the command center's lift. So now, I suppose, in an absolute reversal of what happened to skindzer earlier on, he's lifting everything and going upwards to the 3rd base, or what would be, I suppose, the 5th base, maybe?
Yep.
So the 2 of them are expanding to their 5th bases as their mains get cleaned out.
The problem with this is we know that skindzer is fucked, right?
He hasn't seen the 6 yet.
Yes, that's the problem, that skindzer doesn't know it, because, well, let's just hope that he doesn't know that the 6 o'clock is building up, because if he did, he wouldn't be doing this to us.
Yeah. GTR has scouted the 5 o'clock, so he should be able to just walk these marines in, kill it, and
Oh my god, he kills all the transferring probes.
skindzer is basically doing the Terran building lift, but he's doing it with Zerg.
And I just say, skindzer has one thing going for him above all other players. He is currently fighting against a Terran player who has nearly 3 times his supply with, again, a small Hydralisk force, and he is making it work. Like,
this is going to be good though. He's killing the supply depots, and that's going to supply block GTR, which means that he won't be able to build any more units for ages until he rebuilds all of those depots.
Well, there are still mines there, and his Hydralisks are targeting the buildings like, oh. Dear me.
So finally, skindzer realized just how fucked he was, and GTR wins the series 2-0.